So I'm going to go over some of that stuff that I've gotten, some of my favorite stuff that I've gotten. The cool thing is, too, with Elk City, this is heavy as shit. You can kind of see there, he makes his own like little, environmentally friendly bags if you're into that kind of thing. I don't have a preference. I'm not against being environmentally friendly, but it is what it is. So I usually use this bag to hold like a bunch of my stuff. So that's what I put some of my favorites in. So, favorites, I'm going to start with, anybody who knows me knows that my favorites would start with my Rush collection. Big shock there. If you didn't know, I'm a huge Rush fan. So now you're caught up. This is my, obviously, it's the first Rush record, the debut from, that'd be 1974. This is for anybody who knows anything about Rush. This is prior to Neil. As you can see there in the middle, that's John Rutsey. That was their first drummer. And, you know, quality-wise, it's in really, all of my Rush records are in really good shape. I won't get any Rush record that's not at least in bare minimum playable condition. So that's the debut. Not one of my favorite Rush records, but a good friend of mine growing up, actually my best friend growing up, he got that for me in Pennsylvania, which is where he lived. So thanks, Matt, for that. Next being the first album with Neil, and I actually have that tattooed onto my leg. Fly By Night, that was Neil's first record. As you can see in the middle there. So, this is in really good shape as well. An ex-girlfriend got that for me off of somebody that was selling it out of their collection. It's in also really good shape, so that's awesome. I actually think I have more than this, but for some reason I have 2 copies of 2112 in my stack. I think my mint ones, like my mint, I don't really keep in stacks like this. I usually set them off to the side. These are both obviously pretty well worn. The records are in good shape, but the sleeves not so much. But yeah, that's 2112. Great record. This was Archives, which is kind of like their... It's not a greatest hits by any means. It's actually the first 3 records. It was the debut Rush record, Fly By Night, and then Caress of Steel, which was the 3rd record. And it came out as Archives, as you can see there. I want to say that was 75 going into 76. Actually, it might have been 76 when that came out. I'm not 100%. This is the first live record, All the World's a Stage, in very good shape. It is a trifold, still in really good shape. Also an ex-girlfriend, but a different ex-girlfriend. I'm starting to notice a pattern here that people who know me and or care about me know that I love Rush, and Rush is the way to get me. Farewell to Kings. I actually don't remember where I picked up a Farewell to Kings, to be honest. It's a great record. It's one of my favorites. But I just do not remember where I picked this up at all. But great record. Then on to my absolute favorite, which was Hemispheres. The record is famous for only having 4 songs on it, yet it took up both sides of the vinyl. Fantastic record. Like I said, it is my favorite Rush record. You get into, right after Hemispheres, would go into their first kind of super popular record, which was Permanent Waves. That had Spirit of Radio is what a lot of people would know. Free Will was also on Permanent Waves. But it had a lot of great stuff on it, man. I don't knock Spirit of Radio or Free Will. They're both great. A lot of people would probably look at that and say that that's radio-friendly Rush, but who cares? They're still great, and they're still the greatest band of all time for me. But yeah, songs that I think are like sleepers on this would probably Natural Science is really good. Entre Nous is really good. Both of those on that record. Then the most famous Rush record, everybody knows, Moving Pictures. To me, every song on that record was good. And of the 7 songs on it, Red Barchetta, Tom Sawyer, Limelight, YYZ, those 4 alone became greatest hits, for Rush. The ones that people probably wouldn't remember is like The Camera Eye, Witch Hunt, and Vital Signs would be the other 3. Just as good of songs, but did not get the airplay that Tom Sawyer and Limelight and stuff like that did. Then on to Rush's next live record, which I want to say I got this when my family's bluegrass group that I used to play in, actually, when we were recording our CD, our producer, who really didn't know how to record bluegrass. I'm not taking away from the fact he was a good producer and he knew how to record. He was a good recording engineer, but he did not know bluegrass whatsoever. And the record really reflected that, so hence the reason you've never seen it anywhere, because it just sounded terrible. But he was a huge Rush fan, as it turned out. Not as huge as myself, apparently, because he was willing to sell a lot of his stuff. But yeah, I got Exit Stage Left, as well as, I think I got Power Windows off of him, but that comes up in a minute. Signals, great record. If you can't tell, right now I'm just going through my Rush stuff. Then I'll show some other stuff that I also really, really like, but right now I'm just going through Rush. Signals, the only thing people really know off of Signals is Subdivisions. Subdivisions got really popular off of Signals. I can't think of anything that people would honestly really remember. New World Man also got to be a pretty big radio hit. That was on Signals as well. So that's a great record. Then move on to Grace Under Pressure. And this one is not mint at all, but it is in really, really, really good shape. I love this record. Hits off of that, Red Sector A, Distant Early Warning also got pretty popular off of that. It was a radio hit. Plus, not to mention, it is also when Geddy had this sweet, like, raccoon skin hat for hair, which was awesome. I don't know why he ever cut it. Loved that. That was a great record. Then, this actually is close to mint. It still has the original cellophane with the original sticker that was talking about what the hits were off of it. That is the other record, Power Windows, what I got off of our recording engineer from the Bluegrass record. And then hits off of it, Big Money, got to be a radio hit, and that's about it for Power Windows. Probably my least favorite record from my Rush collection, but my favorite story, which is why I keep it wrapped up in the original bag that I bought it from. is Hold Your Fire. Arguably, probably my least favorite Rush record. It only had 2 good songs on it, Force 10 and Time Stands Still. Force 10 didn't get super popular, but Time Stands Still did. A lot of people know that song. You can't see it on the record, or you can't see it on the camera, but on the record, the serial number that's on this record is an early printing. It's one of the first 15,000. I wish it were a better record than Hold Your Fire, but I'm happy to have it nonetheless. I am only missing, that's all of my Rush records. I'm only missing, I want to say in original pressings, I am only missing Presto, Counterparts, and Roll the Bones. So I'm only missing 3 original pressings to complete my Rush collection on vinyl. I've got a lot of the cassettes. I think I have all of it on CD, I'm pretty sure, including the greatest hits. I don't have all the cassettes. I think I have 2112 on 8-track, but I don't have an 8-track player, so I have no way of playing it and listening to it, which bums me out on that one, but I'll get it. So that's all a Rush.